Hi guys, welcome back to another video.
Hello guys, welcome back. As Rainy, don't know why I repeated that. Welcome back guys. Today we will be talking again. He's just forever on our lips. Tatey boy has...
Tatey boy.
More stuff has come out about Tate. It's getting real sticky now. I've watched a little bit of this video. Rainy hasn't watched any of this video. This is just kind of going to be
We're talking about some of the legalities, but just as like a little disclaimer, we are talking about the American jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So none of you solicitors come for me in the comments like, oh, under UK, yeah. Please.
Indeed. And as you can hear, my voice isn't top tip. Please, all right, I'm going through something. Let me live.
You're always going through something.
Let me live. Right, guys, we're going to get straight into it.
Unless you're dealing with underage, when we don't have any evidence that anybody's underage. But we have three things: force, fraud, or coercion. Force, obviously, that's like being in chains and, not being allowed to leave. Fraud, being kept there under false pretenses. If there's an element of fraud in the way that you are enticing somebody or keeping somebody in a particular position to work for you, and if it's in the sex business, that's sex trafficking. Or coercion, threat of harm or some other way to limit your movement. And so let's kind of look at one of his very first videos that he did. These are his words, not my words. And I'm going to play it, and I'm not going to take it out of context. We'll play this. Let's just make sure I'm not taking things out of context.
When you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest. But in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you. There are webcam studios everywhere. There's one webcam studio down the road called Studio 20 with 100 rooms. 100 rooms. 8-hour shifts, 3 girls a day. That's 300 girls a day working, and they all work on LiveGasming. So if you're going to go on LiveGasming, you're going to be competing with big-time guys. And what you want to be competing with is people at home in their bedrooms. You don't want to be competing with serious businessmen, because I know for a fact, Studio 20, the owner of Studio 20 and the owner of the website itself, LiveGasming, are friends, and they've got some kind of backhander agreement. So all the Studio 20 girls appear high on the webpage. They appear at the top of the page. Obviously, if you're going to go on there, you don't want to scroll down 10 pages to find a girl. You're going to go to the girls in the first row. All his girls appear high up because he's given the guy a backhand. It's all this shady business. It's a huge competition market. Now, I've told very shortly my story, how I kind of started my whole webcam business. I'll tell it again in detail here. I was fighting. I had some money. I had £70,000 in a safe in my bedroom, in my house. I wanted to buy property in Thailand and moved to Thailand. I needed 80,000, I was 10 grand short. And I thought I'd go to the casino and make the 10, which was obviously, we all know how that story went. So I lost 30, so now I needed 40. I needed it quickly. So I was sitting there trying to find a way to make money. So how can I make money? And what I did was, I said to Tristan, I'm literally not leaving my room until I have a way for us to make more money. Because I can only fight so many times per year, and I know their income. So I got a pen and paper, and I was on YouTube, like researching, how people make money, what millionaires have, and they kept talking about assets. And I was sitting there thinking, what assets do I have? I'm trying to buy a property. I mean, I didn't own a property in the UK at the time, so they didn't pay me tax to anyone. I didn't want to pay taxes, so I didn't buy a house to confirm me. So I was like, what assets do I have? Okay, I have a car, I have this, I have that. And then I realized I had about 5 girlfriends, all smoking hot. And females are an asset. Attractive females.
What are you saying so far?
So this is where things get a bit tricky because, okay, so far you may not agree. And I'm just going to say this again. I say this every time I talk about Tate. It's not whether or not I agree with him. It's just literally looking at the situation, right? And everything he said so far... Like we said before, he's very clever. He's very entrepreneurial. He's got very strong views, and he holds himself to those views. Now, saying girls are assets...
That's kind of crazy.
That is crazy because you're just objectifying a human, let alone, we're not even going to go down the whole feminism route, and how, men assert this, misogyny, we're not doing it. Just another human being, because if we flip the script, the last time before this whole century that humans were assets was a slave trade.
Sheesh. That's how you're going to join them.
It's so true that because slave owners, when there was nothing wrong with having assets, would be like, well, I've got 50 slaves. Oh, well, I've got 170. Let's trade slaves. Let me buy yours. Like, the last time it happened on like a major scale, besides, you know, misogyny and things like that, was the slave trade. So ethically, what he's saying, I may not agree with, but legally-ish type of ways, I don't think
it's not as bad yet. Let's keep watching.
Let's
keep watching because I know where it goes to.
Attractive females are absolutely an asset. And if you disagree with me, walk in the club with 10 blondes and you'll see who the most important guy in the club is. Fuck the champagne shows. I've walked into the club with 10 girls and there's guys next to me doing champagne shows. Is anyone looking at their table or my table? No one gives a fuck about their table. Pussy is the most important driving force of this planet. Pussy is the only reason that empires were started and wars were waged. It's the only reason all you guys are out there are even interested in having money. If there was no pussy about, you wouldn't care about having money. You'd say, oh, I'll have a little bit of money and I'll just play chess all day. I don't care, I'll play video games. The only reason we want cars and clothes and six-packs and houses and shit is for girls. Girls are the driving force. So when I realized I had all these assets, I had to find a way to monetize the assets. I knew some street pimps. I've known them for a long time. Straight street pimping is a completely... In fact, no, it's not a completely different game. The psychological aspect is the same.
No, I'm not taking
wait, can we just like hold on, rewind that again? What do you say?
What about pimping?
Yeah.
About it gets so much worse.
What do you mean?
It gets terrible. That's what I mean. But like let me just keep going because it really gets bad. But I know exactly what you mean.
Of what we're going to do. The skill I'm going to teach you is exactly the same. I could easily translate mine to a street business and you could easily street pimp with the things I'm going to teach you. But I didn't want no one else fucking my girl. That's the truth. My girls. I want to fuck my girls. I don't want some other guy fucking my girls. What the fuck's the point in that? So, long story short, blah, 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 blah. Discovered webcam and went from there. Flew all 5 girls in at once. Sat them all down. So I've been going out with all of you. Here's the truth. Starting a business, you want to make money or not. 2 decided to stay. 3 started crying, got back on the plane because they're all different places in the world. I had them for when I was fighting. So I went and fought in Slovakia, got a girlfriend. Went and fought in France, got a girlfriend. Went and fought. So I had all the girls around the world. So I told them all to fly in, sat them all down together. Like, who the fuck are all these other girls? I was like, okay, truth time. Bang. I'm a G. Been fucking you all.
I'm a G.
I'm going to start a business. You're all going to live here with me. 3 got back on the plane. 2 decided to stay. 2 weeks later, 1 left. And so I was left with 1. But starting with 1 is good. But first 2 weeks, I fucked them together a few times. Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money and give you the money.
Here now. Inspire the girl to make money and take her money.
Manipulation, yeah, of course. Like, you know, that's domestic abuse. Because trying to control their income, trying to control their body, you're using their body, their self, to gratify and glorify yourself so you can get a house out in Thailand. Okay,
it gets
God
worse.
would, and you know what's sick? Do you know what's sick in the head? This guy did all of this, right? And then decided to walk into the courtroom holding a Quran. Don't do that to Islam. Because in Islam, apart from like God and stuff, one of the most highly respected people, obviously prophets and stuff, was Aisha. The respect for women in Islam is...
This is what he's saying as well, people. Like, this isn't edited. Like, this is just from one of his courses or something.
So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence. And you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you. And this is extremely important. Because at the beginning, she will need you. But then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive.
So that goes into that whole idea of he was talking about like that whole idea of, because he hasn't forced these girls, like he said I've sat these 5 girls down, 2 of them were crying, 2 of them were like nah, and then one of them was like, I'm gonna stay. Now you need me and I need you. That's not a false setup. But when he starts saying, oh, we're creating this fallacy, that's when the fraud kicks in, because it's a case of like, okay, these aren't actually the circumstances, but you're manipulating me to believe that those are the circumstances. Which is dirty.
Yep.
She can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you. So this is what screen share is all about. Effectively, this is the way the business works. The girl sits on the camera. Now, when the girl is on camera, and you would have seen from my promotional video, that was at the height of my webcam empire. The blonde in that video I'm still with now. You'll see from there how we explain that there's people typing or pretending to be the girl 24 hours a day. So it hasn't got to be 24.
Can you
How
imagine?
would you feel?
Oh,
How would you feel?
the type of guys that do that anyway. I feel like I say it's a little, but there's such a big market of men that are a kind of urge for this kind of lust of a woman attention, and it's so weird and scary to me that you can lower yourself to the amount of that you're paying this girl and you think you're getting a genuine kind of connection there when it's just some bald
Tate.
guy. You know what I mean?
But that method is very important for two reasons. First, let me explain how it works. Listen up, motherfuckers. So, the girl is on the webcam. She's sitting here. When a girl is on camera, she has a public room, which people will visit, and they will spend money in and talk shit. It is your job to train the girl to talk to and interact with that public room as much as possible. So when people come in the room and say, oh, hey, how are you? She's like, they type. The men type, hey, how are you? It comes in the box. She goes, oh, hey, I'm fine, thank you. And she has to make sure her public room is engaging and interesting as much as possible to keep people in the room. Now, she can also receive private messages. And all those private messages, you are going to reply to. And you're going to reply to them via screen share on a computer in a different room. As long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you're having more conversations with men than a girl could ever have on her own. Because she's too busy on her own. She's overwhelmed. She can't talk to all these people. So some guys you have to negotiate with, some guys you have to do a deal with, some guys whatever. You can do all that shit. But even more importantly, it makes the girl believe that she can't do it without you.
This is where the kind of manipulation comes in.
It does, but then at the same time, okay, I'm just playing devil's advocate because it's very different if you were to be in the circumstances. But as a woman, I believe that...
I know where this goes, so this is just funny.
Like, okay, why wouldn't I be able to hire someone else to message for me?
Exactly.
Like me, I don't know if you could manipulate me to... I'm not...
This is the thing. You say that, but you just don't know until
you don't know until you're in the circumstances. But I feel like that's a very loose thread because there's still an element of you could just take yourself out of the business. Do you know what I mean? You could just say, you know what, I'm not happy anymore. I'm gonna stop this here. Like there's something that's not quite like you said. There's more to come.
Yeah.
But this element of she can't do it without me. It's literally just because you want to keep a certain income, but you could just go and get a normal 9 to 5 and still be able to live life. Do you know what I mean? Or am I thinking of it a bit silly?
Well, obviously, they're going to be making considerably more than someone who
exactly.
does a 9 to 5, yeah.
So this is why I'm saying to you, if the loose thread is that just because you want to be a millionaire, you're going to be a webcam girl, and you like, do you know what I mean? This comes with the territory. It's a very lucrative business. There's even some bank accounts and things like that will not, business bank accounts that will not take on like adult industry work. So they'll say like if you went to, for instance, any like high street bank like Barclays and HSBC, like all of these banks, and you said, well, I'm opening an adult filming business, they have the right to say, no, I don't want to be involved in that. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So having started this business, you already know it's lucrative. You already know that there's a large element of risk and exploitation. It's, if your sole reason of doing it is just for the money, which is very high, you could also come out of it and say, okay, well, I know I've earned a certain amount. Maybe I'm going to stop here and then just get a normal 9 to 5 once you've earned a certain amount.
You could. I mean, that's a possibility.
So then it's not necessarily manipulation. It's about what you want. And
oh no, I still think it's manipulation. You can manipulate a girl, even though she has the right to walk away at any time.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like you because isn't that in anything? Isn't that in any manipulation?
Yeah, but I just feel like this isn't gonna get him a very harsh sentence just because the girl's willingly allowed herself to be manipulating.
Well, we'll see.
In the beginning, she can, but there'll become a point she can't. But you being here, it synergizes this teamwork energy. We're going to do this together. Yeah, you go on the camera. Don't worry, I'll talk to the guys. I'm going to talk to them. We're a team. Happy, positive teamwork. There's no negative energy in this business. You have to be positive. So by you typing for the girl, you maximize your money, and also she believes she needs you, which is extremely important. Later on down the line, I got to the point where I'd hired typers. So I didn't have to type. So I'd hired girls to sit and type and pretend to be the girls. So I had girls online. I had an office full of girls pretending to type. So I had 4 typers, 20 girls online, for example. Another reason we use Chatterbait is because they will pay you in Bitcoin. They'll pay you in Bitcoin. You put in your Bitcoin address and they'll pay you in Bitcoin. And this is amazing because you've all seen the thought audit shit that's going on. You've all seen the fucking legalities of banking. Trying to get money out of these sites into your bank without paying a shitload of tax is actually very difficult.
Okay, I know that we shouldn't tax evade and stuff like that, but like I said, let's not look at well, we do have to look at him as a whole, but he's been entrepreneurial.
What?
Right, forget the webcam business, yeah? Pretend it's a housing market, right? You can buy a house in Bitcoins and then you don't have to pay tax on it. Would you do it? Would you do it?
No, it's different, Rains.
Okay, let's say hair gel business, right?
Wait,
you're
selling...
but
that's still tax evasion.
It's tax evasion, but it's not coming, like, for me, what I'm trying to get at is, this is more of like a business transactional thing. This is nothing to do with the webcam business and the girls. This is him just trying to maximise his profits.
Are you trying to say it's not tax evasion?
No.
So what are you getting at here?
I'm just saying that this is nothing to do with like just because it's in a lucrative business, like it's to do with the girls and the webcam and stuff. I don't think it doesn't matter what business it would have done. It would have been, he would have done the same thing and tried to get paid in Bitcoin because he's trying to maximize his profits and not have to pay tax.
Yeah. So this probably this part of it is got. Yeah. So it's gone down for 3 things. Mm-hmm. So trafficking, fraud, and I can't remember.
Was it coercion?
Yeah. I think it was. So this is the fraud part of it. Yeah, he's committed. Yeah, he has committed fraud. But personally, I'm a little bit desensitized to it because I can understand from an economic point of view why he would have done that. Like when you're earning a lot of money, but you're not the top dog, that 40%, that 50%, it really does. It cuts into your profits. So I don't agree with it. I do not condone it, but I understand and see where this would have happened, because if you're making 3,000-4,000 and after like your tax brackets, out of every pound you're only earning 60p out of every pound. That's a lot of money to take away from a person. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't agree with it, but I see how we've got from A to B.
Okay.
And that was going to be about an hour segment of this fucking thing. But we don't need to do that anymore because in the last 6 months, Chatterbait have released a Bitcoin option. So they'll pay you in Bitcoin. So if your girl on there working, let's say you generate $3,000-$4,000, bang, you get Bitcoin into your wallet. Done. No fucking tax, no thought audit, none of that shit. And I had a separate phone with all my girls' guys in that phone, and I kept control of it. And I would speak to them, and before she went online, I would tell her like any basic information. You don't let your girl have this, because if your girl ever runs off and leaves you, which is going to happen to some of you at least, you don't want her to have an address book of all the guys she can get money from. You want her to leave and go, well, I don't know the account, I don't have the password to the account, I've never set it up before, I don't know how the banking works, I don't have any of my guys' phone numbers, I have nothing. And that's why they don't want to leave, because they're like, oh, well, he has everything, I need him, I have to stay with him, he has everything. It's important, I'm telling you, it's a very important element, that control. The girls will be like, well, what the fuck do I need this dude for? And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So you don't need to pay tax to anybody. You need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element. If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. So control element. It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3, and I'd keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, but we had to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. If they say, why is it 50-50? Because I'm the one on camera, you say, because I'm the one typing, I'm the one with the property you're working in, I'm the one paying the bills, the electricity, I'm the one who's, and the electricity and every other maintenance cost of this property, I'm the one who bought the equipment, I'm the one who knows what he's doing, I'm the one with the knowledge, I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up, go online.
Like, there's nothing to say about that, really. There's nothing to say about that. It doesn't. If anyone's trying to like back that up at all, you're kind of crazy. Like, if my employer stole 50 pence from me every month, I'll smack him up one. You know what I mean? So to be taking thousands and thousands and thousands every month,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's like, to him, even if he goes to prison, right, which he is gonna go, like, when he does, to him, it's just gonna be charged to the game. He's like, you win some, you lose some. It's gonna be another business transaction. But what can we do?
What can we do?
And they should be pretty happy with that if they respect you as a person overall. So really, you're paying 30. You tell them you're paying 50. The difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies. Taxes. If they don't believe you or they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Oh, okay. And they just sign away. They don't know what they're fucking signing. I'll throw them away afterwards. But they think something's happening. Something real's happening. Nothing's happening besides me getting rich, bitch.
Damn it.
And this is why it's so important. Like, who raises your sons? Who raises your daughters?
You know what I feel as well, yeah? This was granted, this is a very old video. But however, I feel like this is what he, like, used to be like. Well, kind of still is like, but he got really, really famous. I don't think at this point he was as famous. No, let's just say he wasn't. He wasn't as famous as he is now. He wasn't such a public figure as he is now. I think you cannot be the person you are now with them type of views. Them type of views.
They're just hidden. Have you not heard, like...
But he mellows it out. He's much more mellow now. Like, when I was watching this, I was like, this is kind of shocking, like, because he's speaking so...
abruptly and
so
brutally.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, you must have found fame or something.
But also think about, right, this isn't for the public consumption. This is a video that he's made to a certain type of people. I don't know if you guys know about Patreon, whereby you subscribe to certain people and you want to hear their content. These are people that want to hear these views and want to hear and want to be like him. Yeah. So it's a case of, out of context, which is sort of in context considering he's been like arrested and everything, but he's speaking his truth to his people. Yeah. So it's not brutal views, because the targeted audience and the audience that should have been meant for would be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Of course that makes sense. Like this solicitor guy, that's like breaking down all the legal aspects of the case. He thinks like a normal person would. He has that empathy and everything, because not everyone is an asset and a piece of money to him. This guy is living in a very monetary world. He compartmentalizes everything. So I can't judge him by my standards, because his brain is not thinking how my brain would think.
True. I still feel like you can judge them though in terms of how they treat other people.
Yeah, but I can't say to him, he's wrong for treating women like assets, but if he's a business person, would you not look at him and think everything he does is to do with money? He's not willing to overstep anyone to get to where he needs to be? Or do you
He's not willing to overstep?
No, he is willing to.
Yeah.
Would you get that?
Yeah.
So would you jump into bed with him?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you're not like, if you know that he may not be a dishonest person, but he's willing to go the back, like he's willing to take all the shortcuts and all the wrong cuts to get what he wants, and you wouldn't jump into business with him, for me, I'm not blaming the victim, but I'm just saying
She was groomed though.
She was groomed, and I'm not even talking about the women as such. I'm just saying, as a person, how can I sit here and judge him by my own moral high ground when I'm already well aware that he's programmed to take all of these shortcuts and back cuts? So the punishment won't, or the sentence or whatever won't necessarily have the same effect on him, because he'll be like, okay, when I'm in there, I'm going to use it to go gym. I'm going to come out and do some self-help. Do you know what I mean? These are the things he's already thinking of. Like when he's sitting there and he says, okay, the longer you put me away, the better chance I have to see who's in prison, who I can make deals with. I'm going to get really fit. I'm going to exercise every day. I'm going to eat clean. Do you get? He's not going to waste the time. He's going to come out and boom, bounce back.
I feel like you're speaking about him like his, in a good kind of way though.
No, it's not positive. It's about people's mindsets.
Yeah.
If a young child, like if a 2-year-old comes and beats you up, are you going to beat him with the same force that you're going to beat an adult who came and beat you? You're probably going to laugh. You're going to be like, that 2-year-old just came and slapped me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because a slap to a 2-year-old and a slap to a grown adult are two very different types of disrespect. Do you get?
Okay.
So disrespect to me would be everything he said. I should be livid. I should be angry. I should want to punch him in the face. But if I do that, it's just gratification for him, because in his brain, it's like, no, I've got status. I can rattle her.
I see. This is pretty long, so we might 2-part series. So what do you think in a conclusion? Do you think he's going to go down?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think he would have at the start. I just didn't think. But you know what? The kind of stuff that's piling up on his name now, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good. People, everything that Rainey said, let us know in the comments what you think. I haven't spoke too much, obviously, because I'm clogged up like a mofo. But yeah, Tate is... It's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
It's a lot of self-snitching right now from Tate. And you know what? This happens all the time with public figures, man.
And it's like, big.
You have to be so careful what you say online. Like, because it takes 2 seconds for someone to dig this up and bang. Like...
You're finished.
You're finished.
Finitoed.
But yes, like, share and subscribe.
Thank you.
And we'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the Andrew Tate.
Thank you. Bye.